Okay, y'all. This is Ken. I'm just here at Bentwood, 702 Bentwood, and I'm taking a look at what we should do and what we shouldn't do to make this property pop with the least amount of money with the highest impact. I know when we first visited, we didn't have the trees that are fully blossomed, which is amazing. But I would definitely say that these oaks out in front here need to be trimmed down, and probably the branches on this particular one here, even though it's on HOA property, I would say that we need to get this all trimmed up. The that's amazingly healthy trees, but this is you can't even see the house. It's starting to get overgrown. So a good trim job on those would be great. Also, I'm looking at the grass. Definitely need the sprinkler system fixed. And we can put the sod down, but the chances of it really growing and taking off with these trees is going to be marginal. So the sod's purpose is not that it's going to be really lush, because it won't grow very easily in the shade. So we need shade. If we can get some shade sod, I know there's some St. Augustine that does well in shade, but other than that, it's going to be really hard to get any grass to grow. Because we're trying to sell it, it'll remain green when it's watered and whatever, probably for a month or so before it starts to die off. So during our marketing time, it's fine. It'll look good. The driveway here, since we're trying to sell it more as an as-is deal, this driveway was whatever they did with the concrete. The builder built it. Must have had some wrong. I've never seen anything quite like this. Some bad mixture. It looks like maybe too many rocks in it. Probably back in the day, just doing their thing and not paying attention, trying to cut some corners. So this walkway, really, I'm suggesting we get a quote for just the walkway itself. I'm not that concerned about the driveway. Especially don't want to spend $8,000 of our clients' money. But I would say let's get a quote for this walkway from the driveway to here. And you can see how strange it looks. This is fine. I mean, this one's fine, and it looks like there's too many rocks in it. Not a concrete expert, but this is the way it's supposed to look. Gates are in, fences on both sides, look great. Already making it pop. You know, it has some deferred maintenance. Getting new gutters, which is good. You're getting a new roof. It could use a caulking job all the way around. I would suggest that maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to have it all, the caulking done and painted. We're trying to, once again, minimize the amount of upfront expense. Right. So the carpet, as far as I'm concerned, for this age of the house and how old the carpet is in pretty darn good shape. So it doesn't need replacement, because somebody's going to come in and replace it anyways. It's livable. It looks good. And the smell's gone. Only a very faint smell of dog. And anything pretty much typical of a vacant house. So I think it was just the wetness of it, and when we were in here last, that made it smell. Let's see. This room looks really pretty good, paint-wise. I mean, there's a little bit of issues. I mean, it could use a paint job. Question is, is that the best bang for our buck when it looks pretty darn good? Back in here, back in the house, you can, with kids and everything that they had, it's probably due for a paint job. But if we're selling it kind of as somewhat of a fixer at a lower price, we may want to consider maybe doing that later. I don't know, I'm 50-50 on the paint job. This looks pretty good in here. Some of the doors, door jambs, still in pretty good shape. I'm also wondering, there was a comment about in the bid about a 2 holes, $250 or whatever it was for door repair. Oh, I see. Right here. Here's one of them. Yeah, that needs to be fixed. I'm not sure what the other one is. Line's looking pretty good shape. Carpet here, once again, is pretty good. Walls are pretty darn good. There's a little bit of scuff marks and what have you here, but so 50-50 on that whole painting job. I'd like to go ahead and do some light staging on the house. That's where we're doing, little plants and doodads and this and that, towels in the bathroom and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so there's also a bid on here regarding the carpet stretching and retacking it down. Honestly, I don't think the carpet needs to be stretched, except for if we're going to try to retack it down. But I don't really see a need to. I don't see why it is a $600 and something bid for. I don't see tack strip issues here. Just one tack strip and stretching. I don't know. I'm not a carpet person, so I don't know what stretching should cost. But I would definitely see what they would charge us to get this tack strip taken care of, because it's real obvious. And this one too on this side. I don't see any more issues too much. Okay, this one's needs to be tacked down too. But that's pretty much the extent of it. The liner room doesn't look bad at all. Its paint job doesn't look bad. This room is fine too. So another reason to consider paint is that there is some evidence of previous settling. This is very common in this area. This is not, and you've already had the property tested back in 2013 if someone's concerned about it, which they probably would, because Terra Vista is pretty known for settling issues. But I don't see anything in here that indicates that this is a major issue. There's no binding of the doors. You know, there's little cracks here, but that's just a usual typical settling strip. Windows are not fogged. You don't see cracks going up the wall sideways. So I don't think we're going to be having issues with settling on this house. Now these windows, I would suggest we get a bid on cleaning the windows for sure. That would be definitely in line. Tile looks good in here. Oh yeah, definitely some cleaning. We need a professional cleaning job to use the soap scum chemicals to get that cleaned up. Tub looks in great shape. Counters look in great shape. I'm really actually surprised at how well they took care of this in a pleasant way. Room in here, no need for any paint in here. I mean, it could, but So this room master looks pretty good without paint. All right. So if we're going to start trying to cut costs, I'd say master, nix it for paint. This room would be worth considering painting, mostly because of people freak out when they see these lines, and painting and having that taken care of and having that taped properly will be probably the solution. This wall here needs to be painted. Kitchen actually looks pretty darn good. Except for this, the kitchen looks pretty darn good. Sure, it's not that much more to paint the kitchen, but to make it all match. But this room looks fine. If they could do any little bit of a touch up, this is the only part that I see that kind of sticks out. And then there's a little bit of just almost, you can almost, if it's washable, you can almost do that. So this room doesn't need it. Maybe this whole wall here at the entry might just be easier to do the whole house, but this room is fine. Really not in bad shape at all. There's some stuff, but in pretty good shape really for this old of a house. So like I said, I'm still 50-50 on the entire house paint job, but it certainly will look good. If I was renting this again, I wouldn't probably do any of that. Right, some paint right here. Yeah, painting probably won't be a bad idea. Definitely, everybody likes new paint. All right, backyard. Looks like they already took care of the dry rot there. That's good. Yard is pretty lush with weeds, but I think if it's scalped and maintained, maybe mowed every week or 10 days, that I think we'll probably be okay for now. You got some pretty good bit of St. Augustine here. And this back here is just partly because it's in the shade and what have you. Pretty weedy, but once again, if we're going to spend any money, it'd be probably paint, over and beyond, it'd be paint and probably backyard, but right now we'll just go with what we have. This tree needs to be trimmed down. Sabrina suggested power washing. I agree, on the back of the house and on the fronts around the wherever there's wood. Probably be good to power wash the fence as long as it doesn't fall apart. If you power wash old fences like that too hard, they sometimes just collapse. So blinds look good. Yep, I think painting and trimming. We'll make a list now and kind of revise this list. But concrete, let's keep that cost down. $8,000 seems like a lot of money for this job. Also, the mulch beds. Great to sweep this up and get this all dialed in when they're doing the new sidewalk, and then we can get some mulch beds, and probably wouldn't be a bad idea to add the extra plant that's missing here, and trim these up. So it needs a haircut, needs a mowing, it needs some sod and concrete walkway, some painting on the inside, if not the whole house. I think we'll be good to go. after the roof's done and all that. As far as the roof being done and the sod people, yeah, depending on when the roof guys get here, like I said, probably best to put the sod in just at the time we want to market it. So